History is filled with legendary figures, but who truly stands out? When you look back at history and find the list of people known as the Great, the list is quite long. But one of the most famous great leaders is Alexander of Macedon. From around the age of 13, Alexander was taught by one of the greatest philosophers of all time, Aristotle. He learned science, philosophy, literature, and had a good education. At the age of 16, he entered his first battle with his father, King Philip II. The Macedonians witnessed the courage and bravery of Alexander, and when his father was assassinated, he became king of Macedonia. After becoming king, he pursued the agenda of conquering the known world. He needed to take on the largest empire ever, the Persian or Achaemenid Empire. So that's what he did. He marched with his army into Persia and beyond. After crossing into Anatolia, Alexander's army fought with the Persian forces and won many victories and captured many cities. The Macedonians would then face the huge Persian army Darius III at the Battle of Issus. Darius had a much larger army, a force of 250,000 to 600,000, according to ancient sources, but the modern estimates place the size at around 50,000 to 100,000. But they lacked discipline and cavalry units. Alexander's army numbered around 40,000, but was more courageous and more experienced. The most irreplaceable division of the Macedonian forces was the phalanx. Developed by Alexander's father, the phalanx was a tight formation of soldiers who carried shields and 20 spears. Alexander's army also consisted of archers and elite cavalry units. Darius III faced a crushing defeat at Issus, losing 20 troops compared to Alexander VII. With Darius in retreat, Alexander and his forces carried on. He claimed victory over Mesopotamia and then marched into Egypt, where he was seen as a liberator. He founded a city and was crowned pharaoh. At the Battle of Gaugamela, Darius was defeated and he fled, but was assassinated by his own troops. Alexander then became king of Persia, founding over 70 cities. He founded an empire that stretched across 3 continents, covering around 2 million square miles. Alexander then pursued a campaign into India. However, when his troops were exhausted and refused to continue after a few battles, his plans changed. He died at the age of 32. The cause still remains unclear. He had no successors for his empire, so it was split between his generals. His accomplishments had such a huge impact on the Western world. If Persia had won over him instead, European culture would have been vastly different. He was idolized by the likes of Julius Caesar and Napoleon, who themselves also became very influential. There is no doubt Alexander was the most capable military leader of his time. Leaders like Chandragupta also campaigned long distances and built dominant states, all having limited resources to start compared to their enemies. However, Alexander conquered the largest, most powerful, and the richest empire the world had ever seen, all in a single huge campaign across all kinds of different terrain and climate. He ushered in the Hellenistic Age through his conquests, opening up trade routes that connected the East and West like never before. Alexander the Great was certainly great, though.